Yeah, most sports talking heads make predictions, then hope you forget about how wrong they were. But not Mackey and Judd.
Write this down.
This is the big leagues, where we own our terrible predictions.
Write that down.
And keep track of each other's batting averages. It's Write That Down.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
With Mackey and Judd.
Hello, America. We are the only show in America that actually keeps track, maybe in the world, that keeps track of our predictions with statistics every single week. We'll explain how it works as we go along here, but this is Write That Down with Mackey, Judd, Declan, presented today by our friends at Caldera Lab. All right, I just opened up my box here of Caldera Lab products. Look at this, all that ruffling you heard me doing before the show here. So, guys, don't let your face and your skin turn into an old used catcher's mitt, okay? Clinically proven to reduce wrinkles, fine lines, and signs of aging. Caldera Lab is the leader in men's skincare and is here to save the day. So, people wonder, how does Tony Gonzalez look like he's still 28 years old? I saw Tony Gonzalez has been one of the main users of Caldera Lab here. So they sent me here. I got my clean slate, which starts and ends the day here. I'm excited about this. I've got the icon. Old Macadac can have some bags under the eyes, especially if I don't get enough sleep here. So you got the icon here. We've got the Good, which is the go-to at night before bed and clinically proven multifunctional serum. So guys, check it out. First of all, don't be ashamed if you're starting to show some signs of aging. Find a solution. Get 20% off with our code NORTH at calderalab.com/north. to unlock your youthful glow and be ready for summer with Caldera Lab. 20% off with the code NORTH at calderalab.com/north. All right, boys. Are we ready to hold each other accountable here? Here's how it works. 3 predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of batting averages and home runs here on the OG edition of Write That Down. And listeners, if you want to participate, you can send Declan a message through the Score North app, and we'll get you scheduled. James is going to jump in and be a guest listener predictor today. All right, boys. Let's hold Judd accountable first. You said Duran would be the Twins' lone all-star representative.
Yep, didn't even make it. And they had
kind of a snub there, man. Kind of a snub. And then you said the Twins, so this is a home run because it is a 3-item parlay, and they hadn't swept the A's in Oakland since 1997. In retrospect, this feels kind of dirty to give Judd a home run for this.
No,
but
it doesn't feel dirty at all to me.
It's a home run, though.
Yep.
It's a home run.
No, feels good. Taking a nice...
It bounced off Jose Canseco's head
I
and over
bat
the
flipped.
fence.
No, I bat flipped.
All right, I had a few things come off the board, including the oldest prediction, I believe, still on the board, which we'll get to here, came off the board this week. So we'll start with Josh Minott having a double-double in his first Summer League game. He was kind of just underwhelming a little bit compared to what we thought. I still think there's hope for him to be a good rotation player, but I got burned by putting a date on this. I said there'd be a credible cat trade rumor before July 10th. Well, the Ian Begley thing on the Zach Lowe podcast, I think would have qualified, but it was after July 10th.
Oh,
because Begley had said that the Wolves were absolutely having conversations, that the Knicks were a conversation, but alas.
Mm-hmm.
Then I told you guys Michael A. Taylor would play more games in center field than Byron Buxton in 2023. Mathematically, this is now correct. Buxton, even if he played every game the rest of the way in center, which probably won't happen, Michael A. Taylor has 86 games in center field. And boys, back about 7 years ago, I think it was, maybe 7 years ago. This is way back in the archives of Write That Down. I told you Johnny Manziel would star in a reality show before starting again in the National Football League. And by golly, Netflix put a trailer out yesterday of an untold episode, it's a documentary, but unless you guys want to fight it, it's a reality documentary that stars Johnny Manziel finally coming off the board.
I didn't know this.
In fact, let me
I'm looking it up right now
quick here
to see if I want to contest it. Johnny Manziel.
So it's called Untold Johnny Football on Netflix. It traces the meteoric rise. Oh, it's taking me to my Netflix page. The meteoric rise and precipitous fall of football star Johnny Manziel.
Okay.
Although
is
it
this
does
a
say
documentary?
It's friends, coaches.
Is this a documentary? Because that's the gray area between reality TV star and documentary.
What's more real than a documentary, though? I mean, like,
but a reality star
reality shows
that interprets
are
me,
documentaries.
but that interprets to me like a Kardashian show or like a Bachelorette. Like, that's not a reality show. That's a documentary. That's how I would interpret it, Judd.
I'm trying to study up here very quickly, and I think we might need to involve our counsel.
Our Chase.
So, okay,
Lawyer
former
Chase.
college football star Johnny Manziel will be revealing the wilder side of his rise to fame. So he is in it. He is in it, by the way. I was worried that, like, it's a bunch of people around him.
It's a 4-part event,
Okay.
which is going to include
A 4-part event will focus. It's a 4-part event that focuses on a few others, like Jake Paul, Tim Tebow, and Johnny Manziel. I thought I played better the harder I partied, Manziel admitted. So he is starring in it.
Okay.
19-year-old kid.
I think it's close enough.
Yeah.
To be
And
honest,
I would
think it's
argue,
close
and
enough.
if we need a note from Lawyer Chase, I would argue that most reality shows fall under the umbrella of
Docuseries.
like you're documenting.
Sure.
A reality show is documentation.
I didn't know it was including all those other guys, so I think that does help. That it's more of like that.
It's
that
probably
fits more.
close, but I'm comfortable with it.
Okay. Hey, listen, it's a democratic process here. So if anyone wants to fight it, you feel
Yeah,
like
I
we
mean-
need a note from Lawyer Chase. I just think it's cool that it came off the board after like 7 years. Crazy.
Amazed it took so long, to be honest.
All right, listeners had nothing come off the board. Declan, you said the Gus Bus would have a new contract between whenever you made this prediction and I think last week and today, but he does not.
Agents playing hardball.
Yes, he
They're
is.
at this point in time, they appear like they might end up in arbitration, which is very rare.
Yeah.
In the National Hockey League, when you pull apart a person's life and point to all of their flaws and crap on them, and then expect them to come back and be happy.
It is a weird process. Here's why we don't think this player that we need to contribute at a high level should make as much money.
We think you suck, but you're going to start opening night.
All right, Judd's leading the pack here with a .328 batting average and 6 home runs on the season. Declan at .254. Old Mackey has climbed ahead of the listeners at .241. Listeners at .234.
Nice back.
It's still pretty bad, though. We're all kind of having
I'm having a
season.
bad season.
Yeah, Declan batted like 400 last year.
I think at this point a year ago, Dex, I think you were still like 420.
Well, yeah, but even like I don't love my slash line here. Like I only have 3 bombs.
Yeah. No, it's not good. No.
254.
No,
like I'm
Byron
pretty
Buxton,
bad.
it's not great.
I'm just a couple ticks up from the listener. No, I don't like this.
You might be
This has
taken
been
out of the
bad.
lineup.
Need a hitters only meeting, players only meeting.
Put AJ in the lineup. Put
I got
Ross
me
in
with
the lineup.
AJ.
Oh, Roscoe would
Jason
come
in
in
the
and take
lineup,
some
maybe
swings.
Artis. On the career side of things, stats going back to 2018, Declan with a .368 career average, Judd .329. I'm at .266, listeners .259. Listeners leading with 44 home runs to my 36, Judd 33. You can kind of see like there's a linear. The more you go for batting average, the fewer home runs you have across the board here.
Phil,
Historically,
did you tally me a home run for the A's series prediction? Because it didn't say home run on the initial chart by
I
the
did.
prediction.
Yep, I did.
Okay.
You went from. I didn't put it on the. I should have
By
typed
my
it on the
prediction.
actual chart, but I did give you. I'll double check here. I do have the spreadsheet.
I trust
See.
you.
Yep, there is a home run mark in the home run column there.
Thank
so
you. Yeah,
did get credit for a home run.
No accusations here, just a check.
All right, let's get James in here, our guest listener predictor, on Write That Down today. Bring him on in, James. What's going on, man?
Not a whole lot. Just excited to get on this podcast. Been listening for a long time. So
Awesome, man. What? When did you first become a Minnesota sports fan? Then
that has been my entire life. I think the earliest video evidence of that is a camping home video of me when it must be 87 or 88. I'm running around naming all the Twins players that I can remember And my go-to was always Randy Bush.
Randy Bush.
Nice.
As a 4 or 5 year old, some guys just click with you, and my guy was Randy Bush.
You know, one of the most fun nights I can remember was Doogie's bachelor party in 2009 in Chicago, Illinois, downtown Chicago. And there was like 10 or 11 of us. And we all went to Harry Carey Steakhouse down. I don't know if it's still open down there, but just a great, just a great baseball fan place to go to. And we had kind of rented out like this private space up on the top floor. So there's like the main restaurant dining area down, and then there's this top floor. So there's like, and all of us are baseball fans. Like a bunch of us worked in sports or sports media. So Randy Bush was the assistant GM for the Cubs at the time. And he was apparently like having dinner downstairs. And someone from the group saw him or something and sent him a note that just said, hey, there's a bunch of dudes, a lot of them from Minnesota, like Twins and Cubs fans upstairs right now. Randy Bush came up and hung out for like an hour and drank with us and told stories about the 87 team and the Cubs and stuff. I think he was wearing his World Series ring too, which is amazing. So super random. We just like hung out with Randy Bush for an hour in Chicago 14 years ago.
Nice.
Get Doogie to tell some of those stories too.
Oh God,
it was quite the.
Was Doogie sober enough to remember him?
No, he'll ask me to look him up for him.
Hey, could you
look up? Could you go back in my memory bank? Go to my Facebook memories page, 2009.
Declan,
April.
actually, you can find that for me. That'd be great. Yeah. Perhaps Declan can do it.
So let's get into the predictions here. In fact, I think. Do I have to? No, I'm good. I pulled this off the screen. So we'll go around the room here. We'll start with James, over to Judd, Declan, back to me. One prediction per trip around the room. So James,
Write this down.
fire away, man. You're first up.
All right, write this down. In the 2023 season, the Minnesota Twins will feature a lineup with a starting lineup with the infield of Carlos Correa, Royce Lewis, and Brooks Lee.
Ooh. This is for opening day, you said?
No, by the end of the season. By the end
of this season.
Oh,
man. That would be. I mean, if Brooks Lee keeps mashing like this and the offense keeps kind of struggling.
And they don't trade him.
And they don't trade him.
I don't think
if
they will.
Polanco stays healthy, it's going to be tough, like just to find a spot. But if Polanco goes back on the IL or something, maybe Julian becomes the DH. I could see.
I think I also have a Brooks Lee will make a start in 2020 or be called up by the Twins in 2023 as well. So that would be awesome.
Yeah, you
That'd be
have.
epic.
Let's see here. Brooks Lee will be called up by the Twins in 2023. So you guys are both.
Feels like it'd be out of character for this front office to do that. But I mean, Brooks Lee has been really, really hot at Double-A. So
Alex Kirilloff made his debut in a playoff game.
They were sort of panicked in that one. But I
but
just go back to Royce.
when the owner of the franchise comes out and says urgency, we'll see if people's jobs are safe. You might get desperate.
Yeah, fired.
All right, Judd.
Write this
All right.
down.
Both Dex and Phil on Purple Daily, write that down, made predictions about the Arena Football League team, which TMZ is reporting that we're going to get in St. Paul. So I'm going to make a prediction as well. It's not going to be about the team name, though. It's going to be about the team roster. Write this down. Tanner Morgan will be on the initial Minnesota Indoor Football League team's roster. Tanner Morgan. So when this team is put together.
This is a great prediction.
Now, because if you go back to the Fighting Pike, which obviously played at Target Center for its season, its quarterback was at the time Ricky Foggy. Tanner Morgan is going to be the quarterback for the new entry.
Do you think that the Arena Football League pays comparably to like the XFL and the USFL? Because Tanner Morgan was better than the USFL because he was on an NFL roster. So if he's deemed to not be an NFL player, would he would then be choosing between like these secondary leagues?
Yes.
Do you think he would choose Arena Football League over like USFL?
I think he would because the team is based here.
Yeah, and if you're, if none of these guys in these,
and I mean, you're not going to make a
rich,
long career out of it, right?
Yeah.
Although if the Arena League sticks around, some guys did play a long time. But yes, I think he's going to choose to play here, and it's going to be with that team.
That is a great prediction. Nice job.
Write this down.
All right, Dex.
All right, I'll make a Twins trade deadline prediction, but on the reliever front. So write this down. The Twins will acquire at least one of these 3 relievers. Brad Hand, David Robertson, Brooks Raley.
Dude, David Robertson's having a big season.
He's having a good year, but he'd be the classic.
He's 65, right?
He's 30. He's still really good. Don't get me wrong. He's still pretty good, but it'd be the classic one. It actually makes a lot of sense. You're not going to give up a lot for him. They'll acquire at least one of those 3 relievers: Brad Hand, David Robertson, Brooks Raley.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I was shocked to see, because that Bleacher Report top 25 list, it's like, wow,
Yes.
David Robertson's still in the league and still pretty dominant. That's pretty incredible.
Comes out with a walker now, I think.
He's
Nice.
he's early
Right, yeah,
60s.
sounds-
Write this down.
All right, we're back to James.
Fit.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't make my
No,
prediction.
Phil did not
It's
get it.
you, Phil.
I'm sorry. I'm all over the place.
Don't
today.
give up your prediction.
Okay, let's make a Twins prediction here. Twins will trade for a hitter who has received MVP votes in his career. And I'll say, like, by this trade deadline, so it doesn't linger into future. By this trade deadline, the Twins will trade for a hitter who received MVP votes in his career. Write it down.
Write this down.
So Bellinger, Goldschmidt obviously fall into that bin, but I'm leaving it open. Like, maybe there's
maybe
another
a
hitter
pitcher.
out there that.
Yeah, and it could
Or
just be
a
a.
Oh, I
Yeah,
said
pitcher.
hitter. I said hitter.
Yeah, no, he
Oh, did you
said
say
hitter,
hitter?
but
Oh, you
it
just
still
said
could be a
hitter, yeah.
single vote.
Yep, just one vote. Max
Yep.
Kepler has MVP votes.
2019, right? Mm-hmm. I think he did. Kind of shows you where the bar might be for this prediction, but
Cool.
they're gonna get a hitter that has made some noise before. All right, sorry. Now back to James for your second prediction.
All right, I'm going to do another Twins one here. Write this down. After the 2023 season, hitting coach David Popkins will be reassigned in the organization.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe a coordinator or something like that, but he won't be the hitting coach, but he's not going to be out of the organization.
Didn't he get tossed last weekend in a game too? Did I see
Yeah.
that?
In Oakland.
Like,
Yeah,
come on, guys. Let's-
Gallo didn't like a strike 3 call, and I think they told him to shut up, and then Popkins went nuts and got tossed.
the
Best thing Twins
popper
did.
just
All
lashing
year.
out.
They said, hey,
Poppy.
Pop, you get tossed whenever you want. It's just
Hey.
fine.
He is back there. So Rocco did put the coaches back in the hitters meetings now. So
Yeah.
they've gone back to that at least. They probably figured, well, what's the point of having coaches if they aren't allowed in the planning meetings for Major League Baseball games? I don't know.
Always a good sign.
They've got 3 guys, too. It's Popkins, Hernandez, and then I think there's another, like, assistant. I think that Popkins and Hernandez might be considered co-hitting coaches, and then there's, like, an assistant. So that was, like, 3 guys they kicked out of the room.
And now they're just back. It's great.
Write this down.
All right, let's keep it rolling here.
Write this down. The Yankees and the Mets will have new managers next season. Buck
Oh,
Showalter with the Mets, Aaron Boone with the Yankees. Changes will be made with both teams. Both teams will have new managers next season.
I don't know that Boone would be interested. He's more of a Scottsdale, New York kind of a guy, I think, in terms of like where he lives. But if the Twins made a move with Rocco and if Aaron Boone became available, I mean, you'd be looking at a polar opposite personality from what you're getting with Rocco, right? Like he's laid back and kind of almost like a little socially awkward in some ways. And Aaron Boone is this super media savvy, hard nosed, we don't take bleep from anyone. Would he interest you as Twins manager?
Yeah, I'd love Aaron Boone.
He'd be fun. He'd be fun to cover and watch.
I'm in, by
I'd
the
have-
way. Sign me up.
Yep.
I would have to delve into his actual work there, like because he's full of bluster and things, but
That's all
I
you
would have
need,
to
man.
know
The
more
front
about-
office is making all the other decisions. I just
here's
need a
where
guy
I like
that's
him.
full of bluster.
I like him in the booth
Well,
with Bramer.
I
No.
think a lot of people would like him in the booth.
'Cause you
if
would
you
just-
had Plouffe and Boone. We don't
Yeah,
even
Plouffe
need
and Boone. Yeah.
You know what?
Yes.
So the Tigers do this on their telecast, I think once a week or once a month, and it makes perfect sense. Players only telecast.
Yeah.
So it's just
Well,
former
the
players.
Braves did that at one point too. They had like 4 former players.
Yeah.
Francoeur, Smoltz,
Chipper.
can't remember the other. Chipper Jones.
Oh,
Chipper
sure.
was
Oh,
in there.
oh, wow,
It
yeah.
was actually kind of funny. I thought Jeff Francoeur was in there because it was like these 3 bona fide Hall of Famers and Jeff Francoeur. But hey,
And Glavin. I think Glavin might have been one
Yeah.
of the other ones.
Jeff Francoeur was on my rotisserie team when he came up. There were big hopes for Jeff Francoeur.
Well, his
Jeff
first
Francoeur
year
is
he
supposed
was
to be
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think the Clippers do that too on their side.
Yeah.
They have like 4 broadcasts, but that's one of them is players only.
But like, Plouffe, Morneau, Smalley maybe, former pitcher. Just throw it out there.
Go out there.
Okay.
Write this
Bellies.
down.
Dex?
All right, write this down. So we've been talking a lot about Paul Goldschmidt and if he'd be traded, what would it cost? So I want to write this down. Paul Goldschmidt, or the Cardinals, I should say, not Paul Goldschmidt. The Cardinals will not net more than 2 top 100 prospects for Paul Goldschmidt. So 2 top 100 prospects or less. If it's 3, then this doesn't count.
Are we going MLB.com top 100?
Yeah,
to clarify.
Let's do MLB.com.
And you're saying he will be traded.
He will be traded. Yep,
Okay.
it's a
So
little
not like
parlay.
if he's traded. Okay.
Yep. So the Cardinals will trade Paul Goldschmidt, and they will not net more than 2 top 100 prospects per MLB.
Okay.
Oh, that was a savvy move by Judd there. Because Declan left a loophole in that prediction.
Yeah, I didn't want it to be
closed
well,
it for him.
Well, he wasn't traded. Well, that was an important thing.
Well, that's
Thank
how
you,
the
Dad.
game works. You can leave loopholes. And
Right, but
yeah.
then we
No,
can
no.
catch them,
Yeah.
and don't forget we cannot pay Lawyer Chase as our consultant every single week on the show. Like we don't have the budget for that.
No, I mean we're still trying to build like the Score North Twin Show back up for God's
And
sake.
we're
So
still
you're right.
3 guys.
We can't afford
We're
a
still
lawyer
3
full
guys.
time.
I want to go
Write this
broke
down.
here.
Okay, write this down. I have a Judd prediction, but you can leave your headphones on for this. All right, I am fully comfortable making this Judd prediction.
This
with
is-
Judd in the room.
This is usually a bad thing. Go ahead.
No, I think it's a good thing.
Okay.
Write this down. Before the end of July, a Judd recorded video will get at least 100,000 views on TikTok. Before the end of July, a Judd recorded video, could be a selfie, could be a video he takes at training camp of a player or something.
Okay.
A Judd recorded video will get at least 100,000 views on TikTok.
Wow.
I'll just leave it at that, I
No.
guess.
You're also leaving this in the hands of someone else to make sure that this happens.
Are you just going to sabotage and not
I'm not
post any
saying
Judd
I will.
videos?
I will post it.
Don't
but
you
you're,
be
you're
screwing with
leaving,
my Spielberg
You are
work.
making a
Don't you
prediction.
be doing that.
about someone else who's also someone else is also at the mercy of making sure it gets to. There's like 3 people involved here.
How far will Declan go to
Wow.
To not make
sabotage
this
Score
happen.
North to get this prediction
That's
incorrect for me?
that's slimy.
Just saying.
Judd, I have confidence in your videography work over the next 10 plus days at training camp. That's all I'll say. Look at that right there. Look at those mechanics.
Always
folks.
ready.
The fingers
Always
away
ready.
from the camera.
Always ready. Always prepared.
Write this down.
All right, James, what's your third and final prediction?
All right, Phil, I'm going to need you to take off the headphones.
Nice.
Yeah, way to go.
Yes.
Love to see this.
All right. 1 second here, James. I'm going to make sure that I don't put the actual prediction in the spreadsheet.
Yeah,
so we
don't.
can see it.
Okay,
So
all right.
All right.
go for it, James.
Write this down. In the next write this down session, Phil will refer to himself as Macadac 5 or more times.
So by next week's write that down. Is that what
No,
you're saying?
I mean in the next session, the next week's session, he'll refer to himself as Macadac.
In next week's session, and specifically in write that down.
Yes, specifically, and write that down. Or I mean, I guess the promos count too. But
Okay.
Okay.
And are we saying, just to be clear, Purple Daily and Old School that we're doing right now? So both of the write that downs?
Yeah, for 5, I think it's got to be both.
I think you're right. Okay.
Okay.
See, I can help too.
Yeah, you're gonna have to help me out. A
Oh
little bit.
yeah,
can
and
help-
if
I
he
can help
does,
my friends. Yeah.
if he does, I hope that you guys go like.
That's a huge home run, by the way.
So this will
I hope
technically
you
come
guys
out.
go crazy like someone said the secret word on Pee Wee's Playhouse. Like,
Right.
I love it.
So this technically, Judd, wouldn't come off the board until 2 write that down from now, right? Because he's saying it's going to happen on next week's write that down.
Yep. So at
So
the end of traditional, write that down next week. It'll be off the
The
board.
board. Yep. Got it. Okay.
All right.
All right. You're good. You're good, Phil. You're good, Phil. All right. Let's see. Is he even going to do it right now? Let's see.
Is it going to happen right now? Could it happen before the end of the
You
episode?
never do know.
Oh, no.
You never do know.
Oh, no. All right, James. Great work. I don't even know what the prediction was, but
It's good.
fantastic creative work by you. Since you've got this life-changing platform, is there anyone you'd like to thank that brought you to this pinnacle moment?
The family for letting me be a Minnesota sports fan. I don't know if that's a thanking thing, but that's what happened.
Yeah.
To my wife for letting me do this, put up with me in general, and I got a couple of buddies that I crowdsourced some predictions from. So thanks to those guys, they know who they are.
I
Nice,
love I love coming on here and thanking your wife for not leaving you. Basically, it's like pretty much.
Yeah.
It's true, though. He's right.
I want to thank my wife for not leaving me. Yes.
Yep, for tolerating me.
Awesome,
He's
man.
right.
James, great work, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, James.
All right. There we go. Hey, before we make our final 3 predictions here, if you have aches and pains,
Oh man, do I ever?
is your neck still sore?
Neck is sore. Then I got a shot today at the physical. Now the shoulder's sore.
That's going to hurt tomorrow. Make sure you get it going.
Oh God.
Make sure you get
The
that going. I
HPV
forgot
shot
last
stings,
week.
man. It's tough.
The COVID shot I got, man.
That one didn't hurt as much.
That
But yeah,
might
but your
hurt.
shoulders are now rough. I got the shoulder and neck issues.
Judd, stop
man.
being political, please.
I got
okay?
the shingle shot, too.
Oh my God.
I got the
You want
shingle
to talk
shot.
more about Judd on vaccines here?
And now I'm
for-
supposed to get a Hep B shot. I didn't even know I'm supposed to get a Hep B shot. My doctor's like, you should get a Hep B shot. I'm like, why? I don't like shots.
So I don't know if they can help you with like general soreness from getting a shot, but if you have other problems with knees, shoulders, backs, neck, Summit Orthopedics can help you. No referrals are needed. Same-day appointments. If you're really hurting, they offer walk-in orthopedic urgent care 7 days a week, 8 to AP. 25 locations across the Twin Cities and greater Minnesota. Learn more at summitortho.com. That's summitortho.com. And I don't know if Dex is going to be in any condition to golf based on how much pain he's in. So maybe he has to go watch golf next week with the 3M Open in town.
That's right. I could do that. July 24th to the 30th. Get the stretching on. If I'm going to watch Billy Horschel, if I'm going to watch my guy Gary Woodland dressed out in Puma gear like I would likely be at the 3M Open, I probably should do that. And go to 3mopen.com/tickets. We'll see if Tony Finau potentially can repeat as champion. Go to hole 18 too. It's one of the most fun holes in the entire PGA Tour. Tons of balls in the water. Go to 3mopen.com/tickets to secure yours today.
All right, gentlemen, one final lap here around the room. Judd,
Write that down.
what's your third and final prediction?
My third and final prediction is, well, I'm tempting fate here because I think it's a bunt, but lots of times when we think things are bunts, they don't come true. And write that down, and they get derailed. But I'm going to hop on the bandwagon of the United States Women's World Cup team
yes.
that is coming up, and I'm going to say that they will win the World Cup. It'll be for the 5th time. But to write that down is the United States women's soccer team will win the World Cup.
I don't know if it's a bunt. I mean, it's still, even though they're the favorites, I don't know.
It's not a home
that's
run,
gauntlet.
but
no,
yeah, it's a
that's not a
prediction.
bunt.
It's a standard prediction.
5 times would be a lot, though, right? Like for a World Cup champion?
I'm not going to do it, but I thought about making a goal prediction against Vietnam because they are predicted to just absolutely run through.
Oh, they'll
Vietnam.
score 10 goals,
They
right?
might score. Yeah, they literally might score 10. I saw an over under was on a money line under 5.5 was plus 185. So it's a foregone conclusion. There will be at least 6 goals scored in that game, which is obviously a lot for soccer.
Yeah.
I think Declan's going to steal my prediction.
I'm excited.
Write this down.
Can I predict that I think Declan's about to? I just have a sense that he's about to steal my prediction.
It's
No,
not
because we have no
it's
idea
not a
what the
World Cup
prediction
prediction. It's not
I
a
know.
World Cup prediction.
It's a golf prediction for this weekend.
It's an open prediction, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see what this
But,
Can
but
I
what's
predict
your
what your prediction
It's-
is?
Well, wait. Have Dex take off his headset. Phil has to tell me.
Okay.
I'll give
And it's
you.
his, by the way, if it's his, so he takes off his headset, I'll tell you what his prediction is.
Yep.
It doesn't mean anything other than
I'm gonna turn things down and you guys can.
Okay.
He's going to predict Rory McIlroy to win the Open.
Okay.
And I was too, and I mistakenly should have gone with that prediction earlier.
Okay.
But he's going to predict, so I'm going to
Now-
have to pivot, but he's going to predict Rory to win.
Well, wait. Can you in what would be a first? Can you make that write that down before Declan goes? And if Declan
Can I?
predicts it, you get to write that down point.
Okay, can I do, so write this
It's
down.
very rare, but I don't see why not.
I still want my other prediction because I'll pivot off of it, but write
Okay.
this down. Declan will predict Rory McIlroy to win the Open. Okay?
I'm comfortable with that.
All right,
Unless Declan wants to complain, I'm comfortable.
let's see what happens.
All right.
You can come back in here.
I love this.
All right.
All right, Dex, what is your third and final
right.
Write this down.
prediction?
These levels. I don't think I've ever turned both those things all the way down before in here.
And I hope they turn back up.
All right, write this down. The Open winner will be a first-time champion.
Ah, dang it.
Nope.
So I'm wrong. That has
Then
to
you're
come off
wrong.
the board. I'm
Yes.
wrong. Okay.
Yes.
So did you think it was going to be Fowler related?
I thought you were going to take Rory to win the Open.
No, so I did research on this because that was in the bag a little bit, but there hasn't been a repeat Open winner since Patrick Harrington, I think, in like 2008. Like it's been a 1-1-1-1-1. Like there hasn't been a repeat winner in a very long time at the Open. Patrick Harrington won 07, 08, and repeat winners there in general are very, very rare.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say it'll be a first-time champion. So I believe Scheffler, Rahm hasn't won it.
Rahm's not playing well, right?
Rambo's not
I mean,
playing it as well.
not as
He's
well
still
as
John
he could
Rahm.
be, yeah.
Since the Masters.
I love how Ricky Fowler has the third best odds to win this thing.
That's epic.
His turnaround's
He
incredible.
was probably plus 10,000 this time a year ago.
Yeah.
Probably even worse.
Okay. Do I stick with it then? Because that's what I was going to predict. Rory, I almost have to do that now. Rory McIlroy, but I also think Scotty might win it. If I say Rory or Scotty, it's obviously a home run because it's like I'm picking the person to win a golf tournament.
Yep.
What if I say either Rory or Scotty will win?
Yeah.
Is that a home run?
I'm
Yeah,
comfortable
because
with that,
they're
yeah.
even
It's a golf tournament.
predicted. It's a golf tournament, and even one of those, like, what's?
Yeah.
Do you have the money line in front of you right now with one of those two guys?
They're Rory is a plus 525.
Yeah.
Scotty's a
Yeah.
plus 750.
That's yes.
And Rory won it last time it was at this course, correct? Last
don't
time it was
know that.
played. I think
That
that's.
sounds-
I
you-
think
if
he
you
did.
heard that, we'll trust
I think
it.
that's his last major championship. His last time
Been
the
9 years.
Open Championship. Welcome to the Open.
Okay. Yeah, he won the 14 Open at Royal Liverpool.
Yeah.
So, all right. So one of those two guys will win the Open Championship. Is my
Morning
Write
golf,
it
boys.
down. You like writing things down.
Morning golf.
Let's get it. All right. There's your write that down predictions here. Your accountability session. The only show in America that actually puts statistics next to our predictions here on Mackey and Judd.